تحية واجبة مجددا لفخامة الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي وفخامة الرئيس يواري كاغوتا موسيفني، أصحاب السعادة والمعالي، ضيوف مصر الكرام. يسعدني ويشرفني أن أرحب بكم جميعا في منتدى الأعمال المصري
on the Egypt-Uganda Business Forums, this distinguished forum opening a new page in the record of the economic strategic partnership between our both countries. It has combined the Arab Republic of Egypt and the Republic of Uganda are tied by bonds entrenched across history. It has been strengthened across the years for a fruitful partnership that covers a lot of vital fields embodied in the Nile River, which is connecting the shores of our countries in one. We are meeting today to share a unified vision for economic development, and we work to strengthen the ties of cooperation and investment for the mutual benefits of our people. The convening of this forum reflects our commitment towards wider horizons of joint action and cooperation. Allow me to call on Engineer Hassan Al-Khatib, Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade, for the opening speech. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most gracious, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of Egypt, President Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to welcome you in the Egypt-Uganda Business Forum, reflecting the deepness of the relations between our two countries and the pillars tying us represented in the Nile River. We are now gathered for one objective, with the common prosperity and development for both of our peoples. We meet today as this forum, adding a new chapter for the story of development with the title of Regional Integration for a Prosperous Future for both of our nations. What we are aspiring for between Egypt and Uganda is building a comprehensive partnership based on mutual investments and trade, and working side by side for the renaissance of the entire African continent. And stemming from this joint vision and what our states have of natural and human resources, we are ready to launch strategic partnerships stemming from the transport and regional linkage to support the agricultural security, including major projects for wheat agriculture, wheat farming, and transformative manufacturing, going through river passages and electricity generation and tourism, all of which to contribute to the sustainable development of our countries. Investing in infrastructure, including railways, energy, building new urban cities, in addition to modern agriculture and irrigation methods which increase the productivity and enhance the food security. We are looking forward to exchange these expertise with Uganda for mutual interests of our countries and to increase the competitiveness to attract investments to Africa, with its components now has a future tied to the components and capacities of its states. The direct meetings in this business forum are a golden opportunity to launch mutual projects that would provide hope for for the best interests of our nations. Our economic relations have witnessed a leap recently as the trade volume amounted to $39 million in 2024 and the Egyptian investments in Uganda amounted to 239 million distributed on 69 projects. And in spite of these figures, they do not reflect the huge potential available, which is pushing us to increase the intra-trade and the exchange investments, taking advantage of all of our potential. The vision of we shall cooperate together to increase the investments and to increase the intra-trade and to support the trade path in equivocal interest and to increase capacity building, which is a goal we are seeking, and in the meantime we are working to reinforce this same goal for our partners in Africa, stemming from our belief that common prosperity is the way to take the continent forward to a suitable position in the world. And we see the trade agreements, in most prominent of which the COMESA and the free trade agreement, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, is the basis to build upon. And we are working to activate these agreements to maximize the use for the best interest of the entire continent and to open new markets for our products and to strengthen the historical ties bonding our countries in the Nile Basin area. In conclusion, what gathers us is not just the past that we cherish, but also the present that we share and the future we shall make together, with the complete conviction that what we farm today we will harvest tomorrow. And it's high time for our African peoples to work side by side to get our continent on the global economic map. And here we have the clear path represented in increasing the inter-trade and making the best use, optimum use of our economic and human components and resources to increase the mutual benefits. And I hope this forum is a stemming point for major projects, mega projects, and I hope that our dialogue today will be fruitful for tangible results suitable for our mutual interests. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to the success of this event, and may peace be upon you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased now to call on Mr. Matea Kasanja, Minister of Financial Affairs and Economic Planning in the Republic of Uganda, to deliver his speech. Your Excellency, Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Your Excellency Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda, my counterpart, Your Excellency the Minister, it's a great honor to welcome you in the Egypt-Uganda Business Forum. The past years have witnessed the close relations between the two countries, which made the ties and relations between our both sisterly countries increase for the best interest for better trade exchange, and therefore we have carried out the convening the Egypt-Uganda Business Business Forum, which is aiming to reinforce the private sector engagement in both countries, as well as investment in constructive, fruitful partnerships for the prosperity of the both countries. Your Excellency, since 2018, Egypt has exported $200 million in the meantime.
عملنا على قدم وساق من أجل تعزيز هذا الرقم وفي عام 2024
We work to increase this number of exports by Egyptian exports to exceed it.
أكثر من
$26.8 million. In the area of investment today, over 25 Egyptian companies are operating in Uganda.
من أجل توسيع رقعة المشاركة الشركات المصرية في أوغندا لكي يتعدى حجم الصناعات بحوالي
for the manufacturing volume to increase and exceed $100 million. In fact, both countries have the same passion towards developing in different sectors. Most prominent of our priorities is the livestock field and the agricultural field. This gives us a lot of space to increase production as well as to increase the manufacturing. We have worked together to strengthen the supply chains. Egypt as a state has a very strong industrial sector, and that's why we can depend on each other for the best interest of our people. Uganda is open for partnerships with the Egyptian state in different fields. Now we are meeting together, gathering here to enable the engagement of private sector and to enable the public-private partnerships to enhance trade and investments. And that's why this forum is a pillar, a cornerstone for learning and engagement between the both countries, and also to enable the private sector and to make it able to gain opportunities and make use of them. Your Excellencies, I wish you a fruitful day, and I ask you to encourage the private sector
والاستثمار في الشراكة ما بين جمهورية أوغندا وجمهورية مصر العربية. شكرا لكم جزيل الشكر.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call upon you on this video showcasing the historic ties between Egypt and Uganda.
For centuries, the mighty Nile has connected our lands, flowing from the heart of Uganda to the ancient shores of Egypt. It is more than a river, it is a shared lifeblood, a testament to our intertwined destinies. Today, this connection is more powerful than ever. We are building a new chapter of our story, not just as neighbors, but as partners. Egyptian hands are working alongside Ugandan hands on projects that bring water to communities, strengthen our farms, and power our industries. The flow of goods and investments between us is a current of progress, carrying our hopes and ambitions downstream. From the fertile fields of Uganda to the industrious cities of Egypt, we are a steady, powerful force for African growth. This partnership is built on mutual benefit and a shared vision for regional prosperity. Entrepreneurs and businesses from both countries are actively collaborating, exploring new opportunities and building lasting relationships. The river connects our lands, but our hearts connect our future. Egypt and Uganda, connected by the past, building for the future.
يشرفني الآن دعوة فخامة الرئيس عبد الفتاح
Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, to deliver his keynotes. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most gracious, my brother, Your Excellency, the President, Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you and His Excellency President Museveni, President of Uganda, in his second homeland, Egypt, and we would like to express our deep appreciation for the convening of this important forum, which brings together an elite group of business leaders from Egypt and Uganda. The convening of this forum reflects the depth of the bonds and enduring friendship between our two sisterly countries, as well as our steadfast will to expand our partnership across different fields. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt views Uganda as a key partner in the southern Nile Basin region, and we are keen for Uganda to be among the main beneficiaries of the Egyptian mechanisms dedicated to supporting development in the Nile Basin countries. We also look forward to elevating the level of our economic cooperation, which amounted to $133 million in 2024, and we look forward to double it in a manner that reflects our shared ambitions. In this regard, we emphasize the importance of expediting the establishment of the Egyptian Ugandan Joint Business Council, intensifying the exchange of business delegations and encouraging companies in both countries to double their exports, particularly in agriculture, pharmaceuticals, building materials, electrical appliances, and among others. My brother, Mr. President, we consider the convening of this forum with your esteemed presence a practical step towards translating the strength of our political relations in tangible projects for the benefit of our people. We are convinced that the private sector and entrepreneurs in our two countries must be the true driving force of our partnership in the field of economy, trade, and investment, while the role of the governments is to provide legal and political frameworks to support the flourishing of these partnerships. Let me reaffirm that Egypt, as always, extends its hand to Uganda as a partner, a brother and a friend within the framework of mutual respect and the manner that serves common interests. I wish this forum every success and our bilateral relations every prosperity. Thank you. Esteemed presence, I am honored now to call His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda, to deliver his speech.
أوغندا لإلقاء كلمته.
Your Excellency President Sisi,
فخامة الرئيس عبد
Your
الفتاح
Excellency
السيسي،
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt,
معالي الوزراء،
Your Excellency the President, the Ministers, the esteemed presence,
أنتم دائما في اللغة العربية
In the Arabic language, you always say
أن بيئة الأعمال
that the business environment
أرض بيئة الأعمال هي مصر.
is Egypt, and every time I come to Egypt,
لا يمكنني أن أقول أن مصر لديها عدد فقراء بعدد الفقراء
I can't say that the poverty rate in Egypt is the same as Uganda. You have done very well along the past period. Egypt and Uganda are very highly linked to each other by the River Nile. This is a historic tie between the two countries, but so far I can say that the trade relations between us are way less than they should.
الموجودة بفضل نهر النيل. ولكن على أي حال العلاقة
But anyway,
عندما
the relations are strong.
حلفاوة الاستقبال
We were met by hospitality from His Excellency the President, and I would like to welcome him because every time I come here, even long ago,
اعتبارات استراتيجية.
but we had some strategic considerations. From my point of view, these strategic considerations lie in
ركيزتين.
two main points. The first
هي المعنية بالإنتاج.
is production.
من أجل إنتاج
To
البضائع
produce
وكذلك
goods
الخدمات.
and services, because business at the end of the day are about producing goods and providing services.
لا نقوم بتبادل السلع فقط ولكن
We do not only do goods exchange, but we also exchange services, and that's why services and goods both should be exchanged equivocally.
نحن لدينا علاقات تجارية تمتد لأكثر من 60
We have historic ties for more than 60 years now, production in factories, providing services,
ولكن علينا أن نتأكد أننا نقوم
but we should be certain that we are securing the private sector,
يجب أن نستغل الأرض
and we should take advantage of the land.
المصدر الطبيعي والثروة
It is the natural wealth we have.
هذا هو العنصر الأول والأهم.
This is the most important element in the production chain. The second element is labor.
اليد العاملة. والعنصر الثالث
Factor production number 3 is the capital. The human capital and the financial capital.
وأيضا الثروات التي تكمن في اليد العاملة. والعنصر الرابع يكمن في الريادة
The fourth factor lies in entrepreneurship.
التي تخلق الفرص.
Entrepreneurship is the main factor that creates opportunities, and looking for the wider horizons for creativity and innovation and opportunities. Your business environment here should be unified and focused on these points
استغلوا الموارد الطبيعية التي لديكم. الأرض بها موارد.
to take advantage of the natural wealth you have. The land have a lot of resources, agricultural
الموارد الزراعية
resources.
والمياه النظيفة.
There is also fresh water,
الثروة السمكية والمعادن
fisheries, minerals,
والكثير من المنتجات
among
الحيوية.
livestock, also livestock products.
لدينا موارد طبيعية
We have a lot of natural wealth in Uganda.
يحدث في مصر.
Same case for Egypt.
الركيزة الثانية هي العمالة.
The second pillar is the workforce.
بكثرة
The labor is highly available in Uganda. We have a population of 46 million people, and we can reach 150 million people in 50 years. And therefore, what we are looking for today, that we can actually share these wealth, and we can also share entrepreneurship opportunities. And that's why the people should say to the Egyptian people that we have the natural resources, we have the labor, and you may assist us when it comes to entrepreneurship and capital. This is what we are looking for: entrepreneurship and capital. These are very two important factors, and they can be maximized in Egypt. Egypt has always been proactive and pioneering in these regards. And our friends in Egypt have carried out a lot of projects to reapply experiences. And that's why we look forward and we aspire for more entrepreneurship in Uganda. We had a lot of investment opportunities in Egypt. We had philosophy, we had an ideology and a strategy of cooperation, that without cooperation we will never move forward. We don't only need to advance, but we need to advance rapidly. As we have told you, we have the labor, we have the workforce, we have the natural wealth. Sometimes we do have financial capital, but we need the reinforcements. What helped the economy to grow is that we have received investors from China and India who invested in our countries and provided optimal use of our natural wealth and human resources. These investors came with the spirit of entrepreneurship and also with the capitals needed. And that's why we're dealing with supply chains of commodities and services, and when you sell these commodities, there are a lot of several strategies that we lack. The capitals in Europe now are giving us a lot of opportunities. There was a book published in the 1767 talking about European capitalism, strengths and weaknesses. In this context, you will see that there are investment opportunities and significance of the private sector. But thanks to the private sector, the European economy developed significantly. In the 20th century, the European capitalism deteriorated for one reason. For one reason, if you're producing, who is the consumer? This is an economic perspective. This is a perspective from an economist, a unique economist who came and said, you have the production, you have the commodity, but how can you promote this production? How can you promote the commodity? And that's why you should transform the raw materials that you have
تقديرها لكي تعظموا الآثار.
to maximize the use of
الكثير
these resources. We find a lot of investors who started
في القرن الماضي وقد
in the last century developed themselves until they reached the level of the entrepreneurs, business leaders, not just in their countries but in the entire world.
أن نبدأ في تطوير دولة
We cannot start developing a state without economic development, and that's why
مع المصريين
we are backing the Egyptian state, the Ugandan people, the entire African people.
علينا أن نتفهم
We should all stand side by side to understand the importance of opening new markets. We can now see Trump and others seizing all available opportunities in global markets. When I buy a certain product from you, I add value.
يجب علينا أن نثمن على التجربة
We
اليابانية أيضا.
need also to learn from the Japanese experience,
في نهاية المطاف
that because by the end of the day they took our money.
قد دعمناهم بأموالنا.
We supported them with our money by buying their goods.
نحن نتحدث عن التاريخ ونتحدث عن
We're talking about history and the current affairs. In 1962,
لم تكن هناك أي سيارة
there has been no single Japanese vehicle in Uganda. We only bought British cars.
أنواع مختلفة من السيارات.
Different models of British cars and vehicles.
كنا نقوم باقتناء هذه السيارات ولا لم نقم قط بشراء أي سيارة يابانية. ولكن عندما قاموا في عام 1962 قد كان هناك تطور في الصناعة.
There has been a lot of development in the German automotive industry. We started to see the Volkswagen and Volvo evolving.
في عام 1963
And in 1963, we started to see Japanese cars, Toyota, and other models. And that's because they added new value. They provided value for price, and they provided a lot of incentives that exceeded the British and the US vehicles.
بالتوغل في السوق إلى حد اختفاء السيارات البريطانية تماما وتلاشي السيارات الألمانية لصالح السيارات اليابانية. ولهذا قد ذهبت إلى اليابان
And that's why I went to Japan,
وقد شاهدت على حجم التطور الموجود هناك
and I've seen the volume of development and
بصورة كبيرة. لما لا نقوم بتجميع
why I
السيارات
said to myself, well, why wouldn't we start combining cars,
وهذا من
car parts?
أن يجعلنا قادرين
And
على
this might actually give us the ability to have new revenue streams of 5%.
تفاجأت أن دولة اليابان لم تنزعج من هذا
I
القرار.
was surprised that Japan was not actually annoyed by this decision, and we are currently doing so. I'm not actually aware if that business forum will shed any light on the automotive installing industry.
السيارات التي
These cars being
بواسطتنا فضلا أيضا عن سيارة شيرا وهي سيارة
also the Shira car, which is an electric car,
تدل على نهر النيل
and Shira is an
في جنوب السودان.
reference to the Nile in southern Sudan. They have a different name for the Nile River. We all have different names for the Nile River, but we all cherish the same river.
الشيء الوحيد الذي علق في ذهني الآن
The only thing that was stuck to my
وددت أن أدعو
thinking
الطرف المصري لزيارتنا للتحدث بشأنه هي بطاريات الليثيوم.
lithium batteries.
عندما بدأنا في
When we started to manufacture our own vehicles, we had Japanese experts, and we tell them now that we no longer need to combine car parts, but we need to start manufacturing our local vehicles. That's why the power of capital, of financial capital, is to enable countries by buying their own commodities. We are happy that our workers started working in this industry in the 1950s and 60s. The Ugandan labor started to flourish in this industry in particular. But in this time, we had a lot of challenges ahead, but this is high time for the states to get up and move forward. There was an action plan that focused on studying the African market, and it started with the African market and the enablement through the African Union and the COMESA. The COMESA evolved, but we still see a lot of challenges preventing our progress. But now in the Continental Free Trade Area, also the COMESA is highly significant for our development. We are going to pay for commodities, we're going to buy commodities for each other. This will be a lot easier, and it will enable our nations, will support supply chains. You, the intellectuals, the professors, wherever you are, the United States of America, of course, started to be prosperous, but the Latin America is still suffering. They, of course, have a lot more resources compared to the United States, but what is the difference? The difference is that the Latin America markets are highly fragmented and they do not see any suitable investment opportunities. But in the United States of America, in New York or any other states, any food is penetrated. They have billions of dollars. We need to mainstream such successful experience. We need to benefit from any successful experiences from entire the world and to mainstream it, not just in Uganda, in Rwanda, Uganda, Egypt, any member state in the African Union. We have seen a lot of opportunities, but we are not as resilient as these states in the United States of America. If we have a unified structure to mainstream such successful experiences in Africa, this will help us move forward, and that's why we shall place Africa in the heart of our business plans. and not to only have successful experiences inside the borders of one state. We shall always look to the difference between Latin America and the United States of America, and that's why I came here to shed light on the importance of partnerships and the importance of building the United States of Africa.
الولايات المتحدة الأفريقية
The United States of Africa, inside Africa, creating new markets, not to be as fragmented as Latin America.
There are some structural issues.
قد كانت هناك بعض القضايا الاستراتيجية والهيكلية
There has been a lot of strategic and structural
المتعلقة
issues related to production and consumption.
نحن لدينا موارد استراتيجية مهمة.
As we have said, we have important strategic resources, but there are other matters, and that's why I need to thank His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi
على إمداده للأمصال المصرية
for the Egyptian vaccines.
قد كان هناك مصنع لتصنيع هذه الأمصال في أوغندا.
Now we have a factory to manufacture such vaccines in Uganda. That's why I'm happy and grateful that I had the opportunity to talk here in this important forum, and I wish you all success, and I would like to thank Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. We have followed